So I had '03 Hayabusa, as you can see, right? And we are discussing this product I just purchased, well, actually just received. It's a LED light bulb set. And so here they are, right? They got the fan, pretty cool. Heat sink, supposed to be plug and play with some adaptability, and we're going to discuss that in a minute. I just wanted to, this is going to be how to install, any trouble that we came across along the way, and why we're doing this. And so I don't know if you can, well, you can't see, but anyway, I have HID, like I said in there. There's been a couple of years now, and the other night they were flickering. I am in the burbs, and you can't ride around at night worrying about your lights flickering and turning off. So we need to make this move and make this upgrade, and we're going to do that and see what happens during the process. This kit is actually pretty cool, because you know how sometimes things don't work out exactly the way you would hope, and so there is some adjustability with these where you can twist and arrange your pattern within the reflector itself, or within the light itself, light housing. So we're going to play with that feature if we need to, and we're going to yank out the old HID set, and I'll try and squeeze the camera in as much as I can. But so this is a clip one. We'll end up hopefully being able to clip all this together, and we'll see how it goes. Just as a side thing, I was trying to figure out which bulb is the one that's working or not. Turned on the lights, and sure enough, they didn't even turn on. I don't know if you can hear that. The bike is on. Why are my lights not on? No. So, headlight issue might be more developed than I thought. So, going back to what I was saying, this is why I'm upgrading. Just wanted to give you a look at the mess that I got here. And so this would be you, right? So you're stuck now with this situation, and you're trying to figure out what's what. So the best thing is, you know, these things are part of the HID kit, which we're going to remove now, but there's also ballast, right? So start at the bulb and work your way backwards, okay? That way you can just trace the line, and then you'll end up unzip or clip whatever any zip ties you come across or whatever, and hopefully we'll end up with something that we can understand and be able to pull off the HID, which we're removing, and know what we end up with, which hopefully is the stock plug, and we'll continue from there. I just wanted to give you a view of what it looks like here. All right, so I yanked it off. Just wanted to go over a couple of things. Here's the bulb itself. Little rubber grommet that goes across the back to keep the water out of it. Connection. This is where it was connected to the stock connector, I should say. Sorry about that. Here's the grommet I was just talking about, and the bulb. And here's the ballast. So, and then that's that little inverter or whatever it is. And I just wanted to show you this because this apparently was really, really stuck on really, really good. And I ended up having to get in there, get behind there. So I was able to get behind like that and finally work this free. It's been on for about 2 years or so. Man, this stuff is really good. So don't start yanking on it, twisting on it. Just get maybe I used this pick. If this wasn't gonna work, I was gonna go to like a hacksaw blade kind of thing. Not a hacksaw, well, yeah, hacksaw blade would have worked too, but I have a jigsaw blade, what I was planning on using. I've heard people say you get through this stuff with dental floss. I don't know if that's true or not, or if that would work, but don't yank on it too much, because don't forget that this is taped on to plastic, so you don't want to break your plastics. So I just want to give you a heads up on that. What part of this is actually broken or damaged, I have no idea. Let's actually find out. Live and recorded video here. Let's see. So we're gonna find out what happens when we connect this here. Let's see. that's interesting. It actually did work. Well, that's bad news for me because that means I spent money on the other light bulb set for no reason. But anyway, so here we are, and we'll keep going. I'm about to plug in actually I'm gonna take off the other set because the high beam, HID for high beam is a big mistake. I don't know why I did it. You can't flicker or flick somebody with a high beam or an HID because everybody knows, right? They take a while to warm up. So since I'm doing this, actually no, I'll leave it alone. Let me just put the other bulb in and we'll continue going there. I just want to show you what it looks like and give you a heads up on what to yank off and not yank off. That would be a good time to talk about how these get installed. And so here's the bulb. This is the LED bulb, stock plug, right? And so this sleeve on this model, I don't know if they're all the same. This is the first one I mess with, but this sleeve comes off. So I already removed the HID and the bulb and wiring and everything. That sleeve you twist off. This sleeve gets popped onto the back of the bezel or light housing, whatever you want to call it, right? So that gets put on first. Once it's secured and all that, then you put the bulb on, and apparently you can mess with it and see what direction suits you best. I noticed in the advertisement, left was a little tilted this way and right was a little tilted this way, which obviously you don't want that on a bike. So I'm looking to see how we can play with this. I'm gonna see how it lays out first, the pattern, and then we'll go into playing with it and adjusting it. Apparently, there's where are you? There is some adjustment that can be made. Let me see if I can get it to focus on that. There's a little screw there. Is that it? Nope, that ain't it. Yeah, that is it. Okay, so that little screw, you can loosen that screw and that'll give you some little bit of a twist, allow you to move this around and adjust the pattern. Obviously, it's just LED on one side and on the other. It's not like a bulb where light is being emitted from all around. So we'll see how this works out, but just wanted to show you that you actually have to remove this piece, slap this onto the housing itself, and then the bulb goes on, okay? So we're trying to do a little step by step here. Don't know if you can see that. You see that little silver wire? Let me see if I can get behind the camera. That right there, that basically is like a little wire clasp that locks down and snaps down around the base of the bulb. It's supposed to hold the bulb in place. The drawback is, you see how it's kind of wide. Go like that. If you can imagine this part of it, it's kind of wide, and it would be better if it sat flat, and here's why. Because it's so wide, when you put the bulb in, this base is so wide that it's catching on that piece and unsnapping it, and so it doesn't hold the base in place. So we're gonna have to do a little customizing to that, maybe snap off that little extra tab or something, but we'll see what I figure out. Right now, as it is now, every time I put the bulb in, that other piece up there locks in and it holds. I don't know if you can see that. It's a black little plastic ring in there. That was the sleeve that I showed you that goes on the bulb. That metal clip actually holds it fine until I try to get the bulb in, and then the base of the bulb is too wide and it ends up snapping this back off. So we got to figure out what we can do there. I was worried about the actual issue with the bulbs being like a fuse or something else in the bike, because remember when I tested it on a little battery, it actually lit up. So I just wired up something just to make sure that it's not a fuse or something else. And as you see, it does light up. So, all right, so at least we confirmed it's a fluke, something weird with the amperage or the voltage or something, but it does have juice. So we can continue. This is the plug for the bulb. That's the plug for the hardwire to the bike. So apparently I got the wrong plug or the wrong bulb. If I don't get this done, I won't be able to ride this weekend. Problem solved. I just did a spade connector to a female, and so there's the plug from the bulb itself. Made a little adapter piece, and here's the piece from the actual bike that would normally plug into the stock bulb. Yeah, man, I ain't waiting another week for delivery. Okay, so I didn't clean up the wiring or anything. I just made all the connections, see if I like the way it looks. And so here's the pattern. It's okay. Looks a little high on that side, a little low on that side, so it may need some adjustment. I think that's going to be as good as it gets. As I'm moving you can actually hear the fan from the bulb. As I move the bulb around, I realized that it's really not so much the bulb as I thought it would be. You know, the projector, not the projector, but you know, the lens inside, or actually, yeah, the projector, the housing of the bulb, of the, you know what the fuck I mean. The projector inside there, it's really what's determining the pattern. So I'm gonna move it around a little bit and see what we get. But you'll see that we're not really getting much of a difference in the pattern. Although it does look pretty nice. And I like that you're instantly on. It's not much of a... See, I'm spinning it around a bit and it's really not doing much of anything. That's actually the whole light reflector itself shifting. So I think as long as you're vertical, looks like it's okay. That's just gonna have to be, it is what it is there. I'll test it out on the street, but I think for now, that's the pattern. And the reason why it's so low is I got the back jacked up to keep it vertical, so we can get a true test of, you know, left and right balance. But that's that. So it's on. Maybe I'm not super crazy about the way it's on there. I wish it was a little more secure. So I might run a little security wire across the back of it just to keep the bulb from flopping around too much. If I could figure out some anchor points. And that's it. I'm gonna see what let me turn this off. I'm gonna see what the high beam does. And on this bike, I've always had issues with my high beam, and I'll show you why. I don't know what happened to it. Let me see how foggy it is. I think something got in there. I don't know what, but it's like really, really dirty in there. And so the bulb never really projected clean. You know, I never got like a good light off the high beam. I'm gonna throw one on now just to see what it does. Since I got it off, I took it off. That's the high beam piece. And that was the low beam. So, I got it off in pieces now. Might as well fucking do it. And we'll see what it looks like. I'll get right back to you.